Good afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday, which means it is jab day. It's Thursday afternoon. My timing of taking this jab is like so sporadic. It's all over the place. I'm on jab number 21 and my 20th weigh-in. I ordered my new pen, gone for the 7.5 again. Working great, don't see the point in changing it, really enjoying the 7.5. So far it's my favourite pen is the 7.5 out of all the pens that I've had. So I'm just going to update my case because it's empty. Put my needles in my case and my wipes. And then I put my pen just slots in like that, and it's a little cooler case in case I travel anywhere. Not that I'm traveling anywhere, I just bought it for the sake of buying it really because I just like spending on Amazon. Gotta do my job first today I think because the girls are around. So let's see if I can get this done before they come in for their tea. Apologies for the noise, I'm just cooking their tea. It does feel nice having a fresh new pen, fresh new prospect for the next month ahead. The air fryer's just stopped, so I'm in peace. Okay, let's jab, jab, jab. So as you all know, last week I hit the 3 stone mark. Said I would do a before and after picture. Now I'm at the 3 stone mark. So what I'm going to show you is my start picture, then I'll show you the 2 stone picture, and then I'll show you my 3 stone picture. And I think you'll agree with me that it's definitely, I mean it was, I know everyone said oh, it was really clear last time, but it's now like so obvious. So I just look so much more healthier, much more normal. It's really motivating and inspiring, and just feels great to be seeing the difference and being able to tell. So here's picture number 1. This is my start weight pictures. If you remember, I weighed in at 17 stone and 10 pounds to start with. Had a BMI of like 39, almost up into that morbidly obese category. Then if we skip on to the next picture, this is me 2 stone lighter. So this would be at 15 stone 10-ish. And here we have my final picture today at over 3 stone lost. So now if I show you the comparisons just between the first, the day I started and today's picture, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. How much I've changed, how much better I feel. I don't feel out of breath. Do you know, one of the things that I always noticed when I was really big was I take a lot of videos, as you can imagine, and I would the one taking the video, and I can always hear my breath on the video, and I would sound like that, like all the time, totally out of breath, and I don't hear that as much anymore. Still a little bit, but not as much. So that brings me around then to weighing in for today. Ooh. Last week I weighed in at 14 stone and 8 pounds, and I was really pleased that I was like definitely in that 14 stone bracket after sort of floating around the 15 stone marker for weeks, and now we're 14 stone and 6 pounds, so that is another 2 pounds lost this week, which is brilliant. Gets me under the 14.5 stone marker, and my first target to get to is 12.5 stone, so I have less than 2 stone to get to my first target in 20 weeks. It's absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. I'm so pleased. Just absolutely chuffed to pieces, and I just want it to carry on going, just carry on the way it's going. I'm really pleased. I've had quite a challenging week. We went to London for the weekend and stayed in a hotel for 2 nights, and went to see a few theatre shows. Friday when we got to London, we went out for dinner and I went to a restaurant and I had a chicken burger with a salad and it was delish. I had a bit of wine, lovely. Saturday, in all honesty, I was a little bit naughty. We went to a Tim Hortons, which is basically like posh McDonald's, so I did have that on Saturday, but it was okay. I did a lot of walking. We walked and walked all day, and even though I had something that I shouldn't have had, I feel like it's still okay. And this is sort of the weird thing, I guess, because I didn't need anything else. I didn't overindulge on anything else. Yes, I did have a Tim Hortons, and yes, maybe I shouldn't have, but I wanted one because Ryan really wanted to go to Tim Hortons because you don't get one around where we come from, and he really wanted to go for one, so we went. And I said, do you know what, I will have one. And it was all right. The donut was lovely, I will give him that. The meal was just like having a McDonald's, so it was, to me, pretty mediocre, but I still enjoyed it, and I was totally full afterwards, so I didn't need anything else. And then hopefully we walked it off, walking around the streets of London all day. The only downside to having the Tim Hortons was on Sunday. No, that was Friday. That was Saturday. On Saturday night, so we had Tim Hortons. We had breakfast in the mornings. But the downside to having the Tim Hortons, which I now, after doing this for 20 weeks, understand how it works, so I am prepared for it, is the aftermath of the fast food, and that is your diarrhea. And I did get diarrhea after it, and it's one of those things, like, if you're willing to take the consequences, you can have the stuff that's not good for your body. My downside is I don't know how long from having the food to it kicking in that it happens. Sometimes it's the same day, sometimes it's the next day, sometimes it's within 12 hours, sometimes it's within 24 hours, sometimes it's within 48 hours. I think it just depends on how my body processes it. But by that evening, we went to the theatre to see Devil Wears Prada, and I'm going to be honest, halfway through the first half, my stomach started gurgling, and it's like really loud. Well, it felt loud to me, and really strong. And then I get the pain, got pain in my stomach, and it was really painful, like unbearable. And I was like, oh my God, please just last until after the show. The hotel was next to the theatre which was showing Devil Wears Prada, so I knew that once we'd finished, I didn't have far to go. And I just thought, can I just last? Historically, I've not been able to last. If you've got to go, you've got to go. And so I was like sat in the first half thinking, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I was thinking, can I whip back to the hotel in the interval? Because it was close. Should I go to the toilet? But we were in an old theatre. And if you've been in an old theatre, the toilets are small, right next to each other. And I don't like going to the toilet in public, like, at all. So I did something which Ryan probably hated me for, but I did what I felt was the best thing to do. It was really painful. So the interval started and it was really painful. My stomach was really hurting because I really needed to go to the toilet. So it got right to the end of the interval and I thought, okay, I'll go to the toilet now, and then I'll be at the end of the toilet queue, and hopefully everyone else will be heading back to the seats and I might get a toilet to myself. And I got to the toilet queue, and we were literally a few minutes before it started, and there was a queue for the toilet. So I got into the queue, and then more people joined me, and I'm thinking, oh no, there's more people behind me, and I'm gonna have to go to the toilet while they're in the room with me. So eventually I got into the toilet, and I just sat down, and I didn't force anything. I just sat and relaxed, and heard everyone do their business and go. The people behind me came, went for a wee, and then they left. until I was on my own in the toilet. I just was so grateful for that moment of everyone else being gone. But it did mean I was then late for getting back into the performance, which I know is really annoying. The only consolation was Ryan and I were sat on an aisle. He was sat on the aisle, so only he had to move to let me in. And I felt so much better. I'm probably annoyed everybody because I was getting annoyed at people who were arriving late. But you gotta do what you gotta do. And then I was fine. And then nothing else for the rest of the night or the next day. Absolutely fine. And those consequences I do feel like I can deal with, and some might say, well, just don't have them, don't have the food. But if you've got to live your life whilst you're doing it, you know, usually not interested, I don't want it. But we were going and I said, you know what, I'll try one, I'd like to try one, and it was nice. So that's it. Really good, really pleased. Everything is just working out really well. If at any point anyone's got any questions that they want to ask me, please feel free, and I could always answer some of them in one of my vlogs if you have anything that you want to ask me. If not, I'll just carry on rambling on as I have been doing, and yeah. As always, thank you so much for all your support and all your comments, all your likes. I love it. I love reading them every single day. Thank you very much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being wonderful. Make good food choices. Have a lovely week, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.